Good morning everyone and happy Sunday. I figured we could get ready together today and just chit chat a little bit because I know it's been a minute. I uploaded my wedding teaser a couple days on the channel, and when I did, it said that my last video upload had been 56 days ago, and I was like, whew, it's like I need to do a check-in. So essentially I got married. As you guys know, March was my wedding month, which is essentially when you could see me not making as much content. There was a lot going on and I honestly wanted to focus on it, and I think everybody would understand that and not think ill of me for that. And yeah, I just got really deep into wedding planning and it was so much fun. Just like as a recap, my wedding was literally the best day of my entire life. If I could redo it all over again, I would 100% do the year long of painful planning all over again to have that same day, because it was just literally that amazing, which I feel like is saying something. And if you guys want me to do like a full wedding recap, I can totally do that. Just let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see. But yeah, I absolutely loved my wedding day. It was amazing. And I have been officially married for like 1 week now, which is kind of weird to think about. We are going on a honeymoon. We have not gone yet. We are going in a few weeks. We thought about going right after the honeymoon, but honestly there was so much going on leading up to the wedding that like I thought that I was gonna forget stuff. It'd be really stressful, and like I really am glad that I didn't do that, because I do think I would have forgotten a lot of things. But with that being said, I totally understand why people do their honeymoon right after the wedding, because there is like just such a high when you get married. You're just like so blissfully married, and to like kind of go back to normal life, you're just like, what is work? Like, what are chores? Like, none of this matters. Love is what matters. So yeah, so I totally get it. But we are going to go on a honeymoon in a few weeks. I am very excited. I'm not going to share where I'm going quite yet, but it is going to be a great time. We have spent the past week sort of just like unpacking. We got married an hour outside of DC at this cute place called Great Marsh Estate. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, like we just needed to unpack a lot of things and, you know, kind of get back into the swing of work. We did receive like cash gifts, and so we've spent the past week kind of like going to the store and getting a couple things that we didn't receive from our registry but that we really did want. Like some new plate sets, some new silverware. I did not realize this, but Trey talked to me about it, and he said how like it feels really nice to like have all this new stuff, because I own this home. I bought it a couple years ago, and when he moved in, he felt like he was moving into my space, but now that like we have stuff that is ours together, it just feels like a different home for him, which was really nice to hear. Because of course I want him to feel like this is his home as too, and obviously we're married now, so that was really fun just to like pick that all out together and get that stuff for the house. So today we are going to, this is our first weekend since we've gotten married, we are gonna go to the tidal basin and check out the cherry blossoms. This is at the tail end. Like, they technically peaked during our wedding, and so obviously we did not go that weekend, last weekend, because we were a bit busy, but we do want to see them before, you know, seasons start changing. So we're gonna go check those out today. I figured I'd bring you guys along with me. If you don't know what the cherry blossoms are, it's honestly like a really big deal here in the city for when the cherry blossoms hit peak bloom. And yeah, it's just a thing I've done every single year, so I wanted to do it again this year, especially with it being our wedding month. Good morning everyone and happy Monday. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We went to the tidal basin and looked at the cherry blossoms. That's something that we do like every year and I always really enjoy it. It's just something that's like unique to DC and yeah, it's just really fun. It's interesting to think back on like every year when I go, kind of how different the experience is. The first year I went with one of my best friends and Trey, my husband, geez, not fiance. And it was like really sunny and warm, and then last year when we went, it was like really cold. And then this year him and I went and we actually brought our dog Cider, and it was like really windy. So yeah, March is just a really weird time in DC. Anywho, so we walked around the tidal basin, took a bunch of photos, and we stopped by this like outside brewery called Caboose, and we just grabbed like dinner and like a really early dinner there because we walked like 10,000 steps. It was crazy. And then we came home and then just chilled the rest of the night. So it was a really nice Sunday. Now it's Monday. I'm working from home. It has been really different getting back into the swing of things. So yeah, we don't leave for our honeymoon for another 3 weeks, so I'm just trying to survive for another 3 weeks. But anyways, I figured I would get started on work and then just kind of talk to you guys a little bit more about like the future. And I feel like it's really ominous saying it that way, but things, yeah, just like the future. Like I just went through a really big transition, right? So anyhow, let's go ahead and get to work. Alrighty, so we are in my kitchen and we're cooking, and I just thought I would bring you guys with me a little bit as I am prepping dinner. So I finished up work, took Cider on a very long walk because I wanted to make sure I got all my steps in, and then I did like an arm workout. This was my first day doing a workout since I've, you know, before the wedding. Essentially, I took a week off from the wedding, and during that week I did not do any workouts, and so it was kind of nice to get back into the swing of things and just like move my body. I feel like cutting these carrots is about to be very loud, so I apologize. I thought I'd just check in at this point and just kind of chit chat about like what is next. I got a couple questions about that on my last video, like now that I am married and like sort of closing that chapter, what is next for me, my life, maybe this channel. First and foremost, we are going on our honeymoon at the end of this month, which I'm super excited about. Like, I cannot wait. I've been looking at like pictures and stuff, and I have just really psyched myself out, so looking forward to that. Next, I guess, like personally, is going back to school. If you guys haven't been following along for a while now, I am a student at Georgetown's like master's program course, and I take their public relations and communications program. It's a great program. I really enjoy the classes, my colleagues. I took a semester off. I took a leave of absence so I could get married and just like enjoy that wedding process, because working full-time, planning a wedding, and going to school was not fun. So I wanted to really enjoy that chapter of my life. So working with the administrators on getting me back into classes. I have one more elective that I need to take before I head into capstone, which capstone is like the culminating class before you graduate. So yeah, lots of exciting things going on there. So that's like next. Personally, I don't plan on changing my job anytime soon, so no changes there. Yeah, and I think like I really just want to take some time to enjoy being married. I know some people like are immediately ready to have kids. I am not one of those people. I do want to take a couple years just to enjoy this time with like my husband. If you know we could, I would love to do quite a bit of traveling with him. I definitely am one of those people that have the travel bug. And like I mentioned previously, we went to Ireland earlier this year, which was amazing, and I loved it, and I would love to go on more trips with him before we settle down and like start having kids. So yeah, that's like me on the personal front. as for this channel, I honestly am not really sure. You know, I spent the last like 2 years sharing my financial journey, and I have really advocated for financial literacy among like millennials, Gen Z, as well as like just women, like understanding and knowing your finances. And I still do believe that, but I don't necessarily know if I want it to be the main focus of my channel anymore. Part of the wedding process has really like shown me the value in just enjoying life. Like there's so much more to life than work. There's so much more to life than like worrying about money or managing money, though it is super important. And so yeah, so I honestly don't know if that's gonna be a main focus of my channel anymore. I know everyone loves my budget videos, but yeah, like we'll see. I'm not fully committed to continuing that like theme on my channel, and it's hard because I do think if I stop making those types of videos, I will lose those followers that specifically watch for those videos. So we'll see. I have not decided. We shall see. If I was to pivot my content, I think I would really enjoy focusing on life in DC. I watch other vloggers who are in DC and I really enjoy it, and I just think the city has so much to offer, and it is a really fun place now that things are like really opening up after COVID. So we'll see. That's, if I was to make a decision, that's what it would be right off the top of my head. I haven't made it. Maybe I can incorporate the two, I don't know. But I just felt like I should be honest with where my headspace is at, because there are some of you who have been here for an extraordinary amount of time. It's actually insane to me when people comment like, I've been here since you were in college or high school. Like I actually had a DM the other day on Instagram where someone was like, I've watched you since you were in college. And they went into detail about this Michael Kors watch that I had that I actually like really remember. And it was just like crazy to me because I think sometimes I forget. So yeah, so I just wanted to take a minute to like just be transparent of my headspace and keep you guys in the loop, because some of you guys, you know, you guys deserve it. So. Good morning and happy Tuesday. I thought before I headed out the door I would show you guys today's fit. So I'm wearing this shirt from Ann Taylor. It's like a blue, just like silky shirt. It has a little bit of this neck detailing. These pants are crepe linen from Abercrombie & Fitch. It's my second time wearing them and I really like them a lot. And then I'm wearing these pointed navy flats, or no, these are slingbacks actually, and I got these from Belk. So this is the fit. Oh, and then I have like these like really pretty blue bejeweled earrings on. Okay, it's after work. Trey invited me to go watch him play a softball with his coworkers, so I'm headed there now. I did not have appropriate shoes. I wore heels this morning, as you guys saw, so I picked up some Steve Madden slippers from the store with my coworker, had a couple drinks, just to like kill time, and now we're heading over. Good morning everyone and happy Wednesday. Yesterday was super fun. I ended up, okay, I have a funny story. So essentially I was eating lunch with my coworker and she plays softball a lot with like intramural teams, and I told her how my husband had a game that evening and she's like, oh, where does he play? So I just asked him like, hey, where do you play? And then she was like, you should go watch him. Like, you know, everyone, like all the spouses from my team always come and watch. And I was like, and then he literally texted me saying like, you can come watch if you want. And I was like, oh my God, but I wore those heels. Okay. So I literally, I've been married a week. So I was like, okay, I will go watch you play. So I had her come with me to the mall across the street after work, and I bought some flats because I was wearing heels. I really wanted these flats anyways for the honeymoon, so it kind of worked out, and it gave me an excuse to go ahead and buy them from Steve Madden. They're super cute. But anyways, picked those up, and then yeah, had a drink with her for happy hour, then met up with him, watched him play softball. It was his best game ever. I guess he was like trying to show off. It was really cute. And then we went out with the team afterwards to get just like drinks and dinner, and then we came home. So it was a really fun day. And now I am working from home today. And yeah, so we're going to kind of just get the day up and going, and then I will check in later because I actually asked some Q&A questions on my Instagram that I thought I would answer on the video today. Alrighty, so it's lunchtime. I don't know what I'm gonna eat for lunch. I'll probably just grab some leftovers from the fridge. But I thought I would take a second to just kind of go through some of the Q&A questions that I received yesterday and answer this for you. So one question I got was any honeymoon plans, which I briefly touched on earlier. But yes, we are taking 2 weeks to go. I won't say exactly where, but we're going in the Caribbean to an all-inclusive resort, and I'm super, super excited. Trey's never been to an all-inclusive resort. I have been. I went for a week back in like 2016. Super fun, loved it, and I'm really excited to just relax, spend some time with him. We were on such a high after the wedding, and you know, life happens and we'd have to go back to work and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited to actually spend that time with him, quality time with him, relaxing, having fun, doing all sorts of just like activities and just spending time together as newlyweds. Like yesterday when I was at softball, it was like so weird to say. They're like, yeah, I guess I've been a wife for a week. Like, it doesn't feel like it, and I'm just ready to like have that time with him. So yes, we do have honeymoon plans, and I did think about doing like a mini moon. I know some people do that, but because our honeymoon was within 30 days of us getting married, it just seemed almost silly to do a mini moon when we were going to go on a honeymoon pretty quickly after that. So anyways, that's kind of where the honeymoon is at. Another question I received is if I have any tips for saving money for a wedding. So I honestly think I brought you guys pretty well with me throughout the whole wedding saving journey. Weddings are honestly the third most expensive expense you're gonna have probably within your lifetime. The first being buying a house, the second being like education, so whether college, graduate degrees, whatever, and then third is really your wedding if you decide to have a more traditional ceremony, reception, that kind of thing. So I think first, if you are planning on having a wedding, having conversations with family members of anyone who would want to contribute is like the first thing you should do. We live in a society now that like sometimes people aren't doing that as much in terms of like, you know, family support or anything like that, but it's important to just have the conversation because you never know like who does want to help and they don't want to overstep. Money just is a sensitive topic for a lot of people, and so just having that conversation gently and openly without any sort of like criticism or expectation, and just asking, hey, we want to see if you're interested in helping by providing a gift toward the wedding. And if the answer is no, then like being okay with that as well, but just being gracious to whoever does want to contribute to the wedding. The second thing I would recommend is sitting down with your partner and having an honest conversation of how much you think you can save toward the wedding. This isn't, you know, oh gosh. So like running the numbers, like how much can you put in a savings account per week, per month, like whatever it is, calculating it. that is like the first thing you need to do towards wedding planning in general before you ever look at a vendor, a venue, a wedding planner, anything like that. Like, establish the budget. I cannot emphasize this enough because everything is hinged off the budget. With that being said, whatever budget you're planning, go ahead and give yourself some grace in case you go over the budget, because most people do. I have not met too many people who like set a budget and then went over budget, because the prices in the wedding industry are just expensive. And I don't really want to get into like vendors and how they deserve to be paid. Like, everyone deserves to be paid. That's not what this conversation is about. It's just about realizing that you're gonna go into a little bit of sticker shock because you don't realize how much weddings do cost, and that's okay. Like, everyone's okay to like have a little bit of sticker shock, but set a budget and then give yourself some cushion if you go over budget. Then third is like being realistic on what like your budget is going to be able to get you. So once you've had that conversation, like, go on Pinterest or Google or whatever and look up, like, if you're trying to have like a $30,000 wedding, what is a $30,000 wedding gonna get you in like Texas? You know what I mean? Each area of the world has different costs for a wedding. So a wedding in South Carolina, that same wedding in like DC is probably gonna cost a lot more money, just because of the higher cost of living. So just take a look into that, research. If, you know, if I have 30K saved for this wedding and we live in like Houston, am I okay with that? If you're not okay with that, you know, consider extending how much time you're gonna have until your wedding. Like, I know it's traditional to kind of aim for a year, but if you need more time than that to save, like, that's okay. These are all just things to think about. And all of it plays into saving for a wedding. So those are the 3 things that I would recommend in terms of tips for saving for a wedding. It's all the pre-planning leading up to the wedding. And you just gotta like flush that out before you even really start the process, or a lot of things could go wrong along the way. And the last thing you really wanna be worried about before your wedding day is money. It kind of just like sucks the joy out of it a little bit. I'm part of a Facebook group for like brides getting married this year, and one girl actually mentioned that today on her Facebook, and the group was that like she's about to get married and like the money part is really stressing her out and taking away all that joy, and like that's not what you want leading up to the day. So taking caution and like steps to prevent that from happening, because you put so much work into something that's supposed to be such a wonderful time of your life. Like, you want to protect that sacred space. Okay, third question is, what are some touristy places that are actually worth the hype, dining or experiences? I don't know if this person is asking about DC or just in general, so I'm gonna just guess that she means in general. Maybe she means DC. Dining or... I feel like she means DC because of dining or experiences. So I'm gonna take it as DC. So some touristy places that I think are actually worth the hype. One is the Botanical Gardens in DC. I think that it's so magical to walk in there and everything's just like fresh and blooming, and like if you take a book with you and you just like read there, it is like the one of the most magical experiences, and it's free. The second touristy thing that I do think is worth the hype is going to see the cherry blossoms. If you've never went to the tidal basin to go see them, like, you should at least do that once in your life. But after that, you don't really need to go to the tidal basin because it's always like really crowded. Everyone and their mother is there trying to see the cherry blossoms. So there's plenty of other places you can see the cherry blossoms within DC that's super touristy, but seeing the cherry blossoms at least once in your lifetime in DC, it's really, really pretty. And then the last thing that I think is definitely worth the hype, and this is kind of funny, is getting out of DC. I think so many people get fixated on DC and it being the capital and the monuments and like all that kind of stuff, which is great. And like, if you've never done that once in your life, I highly recommend it. But this area has so much more to offer. This is like wine country. If you go just a little bit out of the city, there's so many vineyards that have so many amazing wines that also have like polo events and hiking, and there's just like so much more to do in this area besides DC. So if you're ever planning on coming, like I recommend spending a couple days in the city to do like the typical touristy stuff, but then getting out of the city and exploring more of the general area. I think it's totally worth your time. So anyways, I am actually going to end this vlog here. It's not quite end of day yet, but I think the rest of the day is going to be just me doing mindless tasks around the house, so nothing too interesting. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It feels really nice to like get in front of the camera again and chit chat with you guys. Let me know in the comments below how your April is starting out. Obviously my last couple of weeks have been crazy, so I'd love to catch up with you guys and see how your week has been, or a month I should say. But anyways, that's about it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.